Obasanjo's endorsement of Peter Obi stirs angry reactions from Tinubu and Atiku. The open endorsement of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP, Mr. Peter Obi, by former President Olusegun Obasanjo yesterday elicited angry reactions from the presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Atiku Abubakar. Presidential Campaign Council PCC of APC described the endorsement of Obi by Obasanjo as useless, alleging that the former president hardly has strong electoral value. The PDP PCC reacted in like manner, saying, whether Obasanjo likes it or not, Atiku would be president in his lifetime. But LP said other former Nigerian leaders should emulate Obasanjo and endorse Peter Obi. In the open letter of commendation, Obasanjo declared that after a thorough assessment of all the candidates vying to become Nigeria president from May 29 this year, Obi had the best qualities to effectively tackle the current challenges facing the country. Obasanjo maintained in the letter he personally signed and addressed to all Nigerians that his decision to throw his weight behind the former Anambra State governor was arrived at after interactions with the major contenders. However, the APC campaign spokesman said, "We read with amusement the endorsement of Peter Obi, the Labour Party LP presidential candidate, by Obasanjo in his New Year message on Sunday. Following calls by journalists from various media houses who asked for our reaction, we decided to make this preliminary statement, though we didn't consider the so-called endorsement to be of any value." Onanuga stated that the presidential candidate of APC, Tinubu, would not lose sleep over Obasanjo's move, insisting that the former president is notorious for always opposing progressive political forces, as he did against Moshood Abiola in 1993. He stressed in the statement, "The endorsement is actually worthless because the former president does not possess any political goodwill or leverage anywhere in Nigeria to make anyone win a councillorship election, let alone win a presidential election. He is a political paperweight." Onanuga recalled that in 2003 and 2007 general elections, when Obasanjo was a sitting president, he used all the coercive instruments of state at his disposal to railroad people into elective offices against the will of Nigerians as expressed at the polls. He alleged that Obasanjo declared the polls of a do-or-die affair after he failed in his bid to amend the constitution to have a third term. The APC campaign stated, "From our records, Obasanjo has not successfully made anyone win election in Nigeria since then. Not even in Ogun State can anyone rely on his support or endorsement to become a governor or councillor. We pity Obi as we are confident that Obasanjo cannot win his polling unit and ward in Abeokuta for Obi in the coming presidential election on the 25th of February 2023. Obasanjo's endorsement is not a political currency Obi can spend anywhere in Nigeria because he is not a political force." Even in his part of the country, equally reacting to the endorsement by the former president, the PDP presidential campaign organization stated that whether Obasanjo liked it or not, Atiku would be president in his lifetime. In a statement, PDP presidential Campaign Management Committee's Director of Public Affairs, Dino Melaye, stated, "Baba is talking of age. America, the most civilized democracy on earth, voted for over 70. How old was Obasanjo in 1999? How old was he when he wanted third term as president? Baba should cure himself from the inherent hatred for Atiku. Obasanjo will be alive and Atiku will be president. Peter Obi can only be president of Rotary Club. Nigeria is too big for him. Burger is not food for monkeys. Shoe has sizes." In the same vein, the Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Organization said the support for the LP presidential candidate by Obasanjo was his personal wish, which did not reflect the opinion or position of the overwhelming majority of Nigerians across the country. The campaign said, while Obasanjo was entitled to his personal opinion, as remarkable as it may appear, it remains individualistic and cannot redirect Nigerians from their determination to rally with more experienced, more proficient, and more accepted presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, to rescue and rebuild our nation from the APC misrule. In a statement, spokesperson Atiku Okowa campaign organization Kola Olugbodiyan said, "What is surprising to majority of Nigerians is that, in the face of the alarming challenges facing the nation, which requires a tried and tested hand, former President Obasanjo is suggesting a candidate that has not had any experience in governance at the national level." In any case, the Atiku Okowa presidential campaign stated that Obasanjo's opinion could not sway Nigerians who could easily remember how the former president had endorsed Buhari, whose administration he now describes as stressful years of many Nigerians, during which the nation moved from frying pan to fire and from mountaintop to the valley. According to the campaign organization, it is extremely difficult for Nigerians, particularly the youth, to accept Obasanjo's opinion as the solution to the myriad of challenges facing the country because the last candidate he introduced, by his own estimation, failed Nigerians. The organization stated, "Our campaign holds that none of the presidential candidates has the experience, capacity, tenacity of purpose, presence of mind, and readiness to serve like Atiku Abubakar. Atiku remains the most widely accepted candidate whose choice is not predicated by sectional, tribal, ethnic, or religious sentiment or the endorsement of any individual, high or low, but by record of ability and performance, authentic vision, honesty and character, physical and mental capacity, the very indices set by the former president." It is instructive to state that every claim by the former president on the success of his administration is a reflection of the performance of Atiku Abubakar as his vice president and chairman of the National Economic Council, during which our nation achieved unprecedented economic growth to become one of the fastest growing economies in the world. It therefore amounts to a disservice for the former president to make subjective suggestions, even when it is clear that if a hand like Atiku Abubakar with their shared experience is brought to the forefront of governance, our nation will be rescued from the current sullen state. Our campaign therefore urges Nigerians not to be distracted by subjective opinions, but to remain focused on the resolve to salvage our dear nation by electing Atiku Abubakar as the next president of Nigeria come February 25th, 2023. Political analyst and former presidential aide to former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Reno Omokri, said regarding Obasanjo's endorsement of Obi, President Obasanjo is a good-hearted man. He has always wanted a president from the southeast or one from the south-south with Igbo roots. He believes that that's the best way to heal the wounds of the civil war. He's a man who strongly believes in the unity of Nigeria. In 2007, he wanted Governor Peter Odili, but Governor Yaradua insisted on Governor Goodluck Jonathan as his running mate. Peter Odili said as much in his book, which was corroborated by others including Nuhu Ribado and Nasir El-Rufai. What Obasanjo did is understandable, but it will not matter in the election. Therefore, the People's Democratic Party will not be wise to attack it, as Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress have done. President Obasanjo has done so much for Nigeria in peacetime and in wartime. Whether we like his stance or anything, we must respect his status and place in history and respectfully agree or disagree.